I literally get asked all the time, how do you know the Bible is real? And I know God did not give me this powerful proof through my own testimony to keep to myself. For those of you who don't know, my name is Michaela Brown, and back in 2020, I got very sick and had a near-death experience where I was brought to the pits of hell and shown that that's where I would be going if I did not turn from the New Age practices that I was heavily involved in and give my life to Jesus. I went from believing for a decade that the Bible was a man-made book meant to enslave and control humanity by keeping us unconscious to knowing for a fact that it is the infallible and undeniable Word of God, something that is extremely important, and it's probably going to be very surprising to a lot of you. But the truth is that I did not even pick up a Bible for the first full year after giving my life to Jesus, which seriously jeopardized my salvation and stunted my growth as a follower. The reason for this is just like many of you that came out of the New Age and found Jesus during radical, life-changing supernatural events, I was scared after seeing how deeply Satan can deceive the entire world or even one person into believing a false reality that was filled with what seemed to be so many sights and wonders and evidence that made me believe in everything that I did in the New Age was true. I never wanted to give anything the power to deceive me ever again. I rightfully so was extremely cautious of every single thing that I believed after that point because I wanted to make sure it was coming from God, the God that I had met, and not the deception of Satan through man. Now, when my near-death experience happened and I was brought to hell, I remember being extremely confused because there I was standing in the exact same hell that I didn't even believe existed. I found myself praying for the very first time to a God that I didn't even believe existed. And I was so disconnected from God that even if there was a God, at first my cries for help did nothing except make me feel more hopeless. It took me getting to the point where I knew something had to be very wrong with everything that I had believed in up until that point in time, that I was actually sincerely and fully willing to let go of my own ego and everything that I had believed so deeply to be true, and accepted the fact that I could be wrong and maybe I had done wrong. And that's why I was where I was. I cried out from the depths of my soul, God, or whatever truth it is that is out there, if I have gotten it all wrong and there is a way to save my life and my soul, if I have somehow gotten it all wrong and turned against God or whatever ultimate truth there is, please just tell me what that truth is and where I was deceived and where I went wrong, and I will give that truth my life, whatever it is. Please just reveal yourself to me and give me another chance. In that exact moment, I saw a blazing white light like one that I have never seen before. Before I could fully comprehend it, it spoke to me and said, I am Jesus Christ. I am the way, the truth, and the life, and none comes to the Father in heaven except through me. Which, though I didn't know it at the time, that is an exact word-for-word Bible verse that Jesus spoke to me from the exact same Bible that I had never read and did not believe in. And those were the very first words that he spoke onto me when he appeared to me. And he told me, I am the God of the living, but to receive me in my promise of everlasting life, you must accept me and turn from your old life, which is an abomination to God, to follow me. He said, you must put me and my ways before every single thing that you do. I immediately knew with every fiber of my being, more than anything that I'd ever known in my entire life, that this was truly Jesus Christ, that he was so good, so merciful and loving, and he was giving me another chance. Up until that point, I was extremely weary that the Bible was made to control us because of Satan's lies, and I didn't want to fill my head with any more delusions of Satan that could further mislead me. So it took a full year to give it a try and just pick up the Bible. And after a lot of prayer on my own and contemplation, I prayed for God's discernment that if this was not coming from the Jesus that I met, to make sure that he makes it very clear to me and slams that door shut. So, that being said, I picked up my Bible and I opened it up and I went to a completely random page. And guess what the very first verse that I read was? John 14:6. I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no one comes to the Father in heaven except through me. I started bawling my eyes out. I called my sister up immediately and I was testifying to all that had just happened and that the Word of God is God.